Right, probably one of the last bits of the UFO, or videos for the UFO section. Species reset. Now, I didn't put this in the book because it's quite final sort of thing. It's a bit worrying. But since we seem to be sort of accepting the fact that we're ruining the planet, I think we've got enough time to sort ourselves out before this lot turn up, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. What happens is we're constantly being visited by probes like the one I saw. They're seen on a daily basis. The Air Forces have all realised that it's happening. Now, one of the reasons why they don't want you to know, apart from the technology side, they want the technology, which they'll never get, because all those probes are printed in layers from the ground up. There's no nuts and bolts for you to undo. If you open one, you ruin the perfect vacuum. So you might know how it works, but you won't be able to build one. But with the titanium printers we're getting now, that print using titanium dust and high temperature sparks and things, it's going to be possible soon. So anyway, but the thing is, they're coming and going. They're only here for half a day and they're gone again. We've seen them loading back into the mothership on this planet. We've seen them disappearing off at high speed. We've seen them, you know, everything, basically everything. Because the reason why you never get a good photo or anything is because they know exactly what to do so that you don't get a good photo. The idea is to know sort of they're there, but doubt yourself so that you're not worried. Because if one day it becomes absolutely clear, then all things are going to change, aren't they? Anyway, one of the things it told me, and it said, basically, be cautious about when you release this. Now, it's been 20 years, and we've got about 50 years to go before a different sort of mothership turns up. Now, this mothership is fully automatic, and you may never even see it. It may never even come into the solar system. But what it'll do is drop something off here and then disappear again. So we'll never really know. That's something I'll tell you about. With the probes coming and going, they know pretty well how far we've progressed. And basically what's going to happen, what happens next here. So they time a mothership to turn up about the time where it gets critical, where the heat gets too much, and the dominant species, which is us, the humans, some say otherwise, some say it's cockroaches. Well, the ones that have got control over all the other species and got control of what happens to the planet, if they're found not to have sorted themselves out, and because see, what happens is, it's very, very rare that you get a planet get to this stage. Very, very rare. Out of the billions of possibilities, only a few get to this kind of stage. A lot of them are destroyed on the way, so they are very, very watched. A bit like us going to a nature reserve and watching the last pair of birds produce an egg. You see what I mean? It's that kind of critical. Although that's a very, very small example, you know. it's so critical. There's very, very few planets that get to our stage. Like I said, there was 450 odd that I counted on a big chart, or it was a TV screen, but the chart it was showing me was the chart with about 450 planets in various stages. A lot of them ahead of us. We were back here somewhere. But basically, so they're watching. Now, if the dominant species looks as if it's going to destroy everything, they will come, destroy the dominant species, and then wait for the next species to come up, be it chimpanzees, orangutans, whatever. So that's what's going to happen. Probably 50 odd. Very difficult to calculate it at the time, but I'm reckoning about 50 years. I was shown examples. They were just showing examples the whole time, and basically they drop off something. I don't know whether it's, they didn't tell me what. I don't know whether it's a virus, some sort of disease. Anyway, it will kill all of us and leave everything else intact. So, and that's coming. They're on the way. They're 50 odd years away now, and there's an assessment made. Obviously, they don't just drop stuff off. But if that probe goes back and tells that ship, no, there's no chance, they'll send it back again with the package on it, which will destroy us. So that's what I'm releasing today, basically. Not very nice, but you know, if we don't do something and get the science behind what's happening and how far we can go, we've had our chance. It's time for the next species coming up behind us to have their chance. So we're just not doing that. You know, they say that a country is a country's advancedness can be checked by the way it looks after its animals. Yeah. You know, you can check how far advanced a country is. But we shouldn't have a country system anyway, like I've said in the other ones. No other planet that survived has had a country, a monetary, a religious, you know, religion is, unfortunately, you know, it set out to be good, but has turned bad. So there's a lot to be said, you know. All you people who were kids and had religion drummed into you aren't going to ever think any different, because it's now burnt into your memory. You will never be able to erase it. So you'll always think, oh no, we're right. But I'm sorry, no. Country system based around money. You have to keep borders, protect your borders, because of your resources that are worth money to other countries, and you have to have an army to look after that. A lot of the money that should be helping the people has gone to the army. So you must destroy the borders. You can still keep your identity because you were born somewhere. You're obviously from that area, and you can still keep your genetic identity just by putting your genome into the gene pool. And then you'll know all the other people who you're related and ancestors of. You can go right back. Once everybody's in, the system will just fill up right backwards, probably to the last 400 and odd people that were left in Ethiopia at the beginning of the Ice Age, or the height of the Ice Age, shall I say. So yeah, so we're all Ethiopian, basically. It wasn't called Ethiopia then, obviously. There's no names, there's no words, there was no, you know, that's another thing. We filled up our minds with stuff we don't need. you know. Anyway, they're coming. Every planet gets it. You could call it, you know, it has been told before, because religion has twisted it and misinterpreted it as a judgment day. But it is a judgment day, you know. Their judgment decides whether we live or die, basically. But if, like I say, if we're seen to be destroying the planet for all the other species, then we will be eliminated, ready for the next ones coming up. They can't allow a planet to get this far and then suddenly be destroyed in a speck of time compared to how long it's been here. So you've been warned.